Good morning, everyone. It's Lori. How are you today? So last week, or maybe a couple weeks now, all the days merge. Okay, the time is just warping for me for some reason. But we worked on the elemental series, and we did some elemental sprays. We had fire, earth, air, water. So this week we're going to do the same thing, except we're going to make anointing oils. And because I ended with earth, and it seemed like a lot of people wanted that one, so I'm going to begin with earth for this series. So of course, as always, you want to cleanse your jar first. And some people have asked me about that, so I'm going to demonstrate again. I like to cleanse things with Palo Santo. Of course, you want to physically clean it first with obviously soap and water, but now I'm going to smoke cleanse it. And this might not stay wet because it's very humid here today, but you're just going to go around, inside, and I ask the plant spirit Palo Santo to cleanse this item of all negative energy so that I may use it for my highest good. And it's as simple as that. If you don't want to use Palo Santo, you can use, this is sage and dragon's blood. You can use cedar, rosemary. What else can you use? You can use Florida water. And no, that's not water that you take out of the swamp in Florida. I do have a recipe for that in our group under the files section for Florida water. There's a couple of concoctions under there you can make with either essential oils or with the real plants. But once I've cleansed my jar, we want to have rose essential oil or absolute, vetiver and patchouli. And what I have also present during this little ritual is I have a bowl of salt, and it has cloves, it has rosemary, it has some sage in there, and of course my calendula, and what else did I throw in there? Pieces of roses. So salt is very cleansing. All the other things in there are protection, purification, and of course I have my black tourmaline present, which is another wonderful tool to have during the piecing of this anointing oil. So this is an earth oil. And look, you guys, I found my, the heck, I don't even know what to call it now. The funnel. Whoa. See, my birthday is coming up, and I'm having some brain problems, but this oil I'm going to pour. This oil is actually made from my roses, and roses is part of our little concoction here. So I am surprised I did not make a horrible mess, because I was foreseeing that. It was almost like a self-fulfilled prophecy I was trying to do here. Alright, so I've got my beautifully cleansed jar with my homemade rose oil, and all that was, if you're interested in making rose oil, was my freshly picked petals from my rose bushes, and you want to bruise them slightly, so you tear them up or just mash them a little bit with your mortar and pestle. Throw them in the jar, pour I'm having all kinds of issues today. Pour grapeseed oil over it and let it sit for 4 to 6 weeks. Every day I shook it up a little bit. I stored it in a cool, dark, dry place. Of course, a cool, dark, dry place in New Hampshire in the summer is hard to do. It's been very humid here. We've had like 2 weeks of straight 90-degree, 100% humidity weather, so it's been pretty horrific over here. But anywho, back to my oil, anointing oil. So we're going to put 8 drops of patchouli. I love the smell of patchouli, by the way. And this is a very thick oil, so it comes out kind of funky. Come on, there we go. Here we go. 8 drops of patchouli. And we're going to do 5 drops of the rose. See how fast this comes out. 2, 3, 4, 5. Here we go. And 4 drops of the vetiver. Hello. Oh, here we go. Come on. One more. Let's go. Come on. There we go. And of course I dropped some on the table. But wouldn't be me if I didn't make a mess. And then going to seal it. Give it a little shake. And then what you want to do, if you're able to do it safely and someplace relatively quiet, you're going to go outside, you're going to hold this jar, and you will repeat, Spirit of earth, from mountains to dust, stabilize me with wisdom, your strength and protection I trust. Like nature, my roots shall grow long and deep. Growth and abundance are what I shall reap. Guide and inspire me today. Thank you for showing me the way. So it is spoken, so shall it be. Guardian and protector of the north, Spirit of earth, I thank you for your blessing. I bid thee hail and farewell. You are released. Once you are done, you can now use this oil to anoint your candles during spell work. Of course, if you're doing anything with earth, green and brown are the colors. And if you want to bring something to you, you would take your oil and you would anoint from the wick down. If you're trying to get something away from you, you want to do from the bottom up. That's how I was taught. There are probably 1,000 ways that you can do this. Do what resonates with you. If you feel that you want to do from the wick to the center towards you, and then go the opposite way once you're in the middle, do that if that feels right to you. Do what feels good to you. And don't let anyone tell you anything different. If you going from the wick down doesn't feel right, don't do it. I don't care what it says in a book. If it doesn't feel good to you, don't do it. That's my rule of thumb. And my other motto is, when in doubt, throw it out. So if you pick this up and you're like, "Ugh, this looks kind of funky," don't use it. Because oil can go bad. It can go rancid, especially if you're not preparing it properly. I had made the mistake making my first oil. I used my roses, but I had washed them off and I did not let them completely dry. So there was still some water on the petals when I put it in the oil, and it made the oil rancid. And trust me, you will know when your oil is bad. It's got a horrific smell. And don't store your oils with a cork top, because the cork can actually go moldy. So when you're making anointing oils, make sure that you are using bottles that have a metal top, so that you can not get mold. Oh, this smells so good. I'm all about the smells, you know that. And of course, I have this little Tree of Life charm. Let's see if we can get that into focus. So I'm going to decorate my bottle. And then this will also help me, because these bottles are so tiny, I'm not going to label them. This will also help me to remember that this oil is to represent earth because it has a tree on it. And I will do the other oils later on, and I will do the same thing. I will use something to represent water. I think I have a seahorse charm, so that way I know which oil is for what. And using this oil, as I said, it is elemental earth oil. So this can be good for use in protection, for money, strength, anything that has to do with nature or grounding. And as I said before, the colors are green and brown. So if you're going to anoint a candle, make sure that you are using a green or brown candle. If you don't have a green or brown candle, you can use white. So until next time, make sure you remember, live, love, and magic.